Hi there, it's Wade McMaster here. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the How to Beast website design. Now, some of you guys may or may not be familiar with this website, but mostly it's actually, you might be familiar with David's YouTube channel, which talks about fitness tips and tips to basically get more confident, be able to date more women, that sort of thing. Might be one of those things where a lot of young people, young guys can use this sort of information. So I've seen a few videos, and I don't mind his content. I'm always interested to check out the stuff, especially the fitness tips, because I like to keep fit myself, as most of us do. But I thought it'd be cool because once I saw his website, I really liked what I saw, and it's actually quite simple, despite the fact it's really bold and stands out. It sort of has this appearance of being much sort of more richly designed than it is, which is obviously a sign of good design. And I really wanted to just have a look and review it in a video and talk about the strengths and also a few things I think would be useful to enhance it even further. But basically, the first thing I wanted to look at was the logo. So the logo itself is actually, I really like this logo because I'm actually, as you know, I'm a graphic designer as well as being someone who runs a blog about how to do basic visual things and how to build websites. But just the simple use of the negative space in this, I really like the font for the word beast. It really tells a story. It really, the style of it is really quite cool. But the fact that they actually pop in that the little beast head in there, like the wolf head, I think it is, with the red eye, it just works perfectly. And at first glance, it's one of those things that you don't necessarily notice, and then all of a sudden it just sort of grabs you and brings you in. So as far as logos go, I think it's a really powerful logo. Even you could remove the box or not and still have the same effect. That word beast really is what is essentially the core of the logo, and it's a really smart design. And I kind of wish I had a logo as good as that myself. But going back, so first of all, we're on the homepage of the website. You see, we're going to go through these pages and just go through and see what we find. The first thing I wanted to point out is I like the way when you land, the first thing you do is you get the logo so you know where you're at. But the fact that he discusses, obviously putting on muscle or gaining confidence to, improve your social life. The fact that he actually gives you the two options straight away is really smart, because when you land there for the first time, you don't want to get caught up in a mix mash of like, is it one or is it the other? Is he going to be talking about muscle mostly or this? You can simply go, okay, I want to go to one or the other, depending on what your goals are. And the fact that he has this, we've got two things we do, and then he's also got these logos here as CNN, bodybuilding.com, Ask Man, Life Hack, etc. So he's actually given you an option and then backed it up with some social proof here from these larger companies. So it's actually a really smart way to go. And I think, I just think it's a really well done landing page. It's super basic. And if you're here for the content, all you got to do is scroll down, and there's the latest from his blog right there. Pretty straightforward. And then, of course, you can see all posts, which I believe goes to the blog page. That's right. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. You're pretty much getting the call to action and the blog. So obviously, when his idea of when you land, he wants you to basically either follow through with one of these or start reading his content. And I would say, obviously, he wants you to sign up here first, because I'm pretty sure these lead to an email sign up, which is a good choice, because otherwise, if you're not interested in that just yet, he gets to build a bit of trust with you by you reading the content he gives away for free. So let's start off by going in here and having a look at these two. Get jacked. So free physique quiz, find out the best workout and diet based on your body type. And this is really smart. I haven't taken this quiz. This isn't a goal for me at the moment. I've got a pretty good idea of where I'm heading. But you see here, if you've been struggling, take our free quiz. It tells you your body type, the reason you've not been seeing results, and etc. So this quiz, if I hit take the quiz, I'm not going to go through and take the quiz because I'm sure that would bore the hell out of you, watching me take a quiz. But it looks like you've got the quiz here. You go through and it gives you a bit of information. I imagine at the end of it there will be some kind of sign-up that allows you to access information. So, you get your age, that sort of thing. Go through that another time. Not something I'm sure you guys want to watch me do. So we're back on this page. So yeah, that's pretty cool. The way it funnels you there, there's no distraction. You just got your information. Very minimalist. Nice orange button so it stands out. There's not really anywhere else for you to go. So it's very smart, apart from the nav up here, so you're not necessarily trapped on this page. But it shows that if you are looking to gain muscle, he's not giving you too many options to sort of get lost and taken away from his main call to action. So that's pretty smart. So I'll go back to the home page and get confident. Obviously there's a video here with a pop-up by the looks of it. Enter the email to get your instant access. Cool. So free video training, you'll learn how to signal. Oh yes, this is about obviously meeting women. But pretty straightforward. There's a video here if you want to watch it. All you need to do is sign up for the email. So pretty straightforward. It's probably a good move that he still has this up here, the navigation up here, just in case people aren't quite ready to hand over an email address yet. They can come back to that. The only issue I've just realized is that I don't think there's actually a home link up here, and people have to click on the logo. But not everyone's going to be thinking to do that. And if you're coming to this website, which is a website about getting confident or getting jacked, you may not necessarily be tech savvy, but I'm sure it's not a huge deal. I'm sure it still converts pretty well. So let's move along here and see what else we've got. So we've got start here. Okay, so start here is kind of like an about page, and I like the way he's got start here, and when you land, it behaves like an about page. I've always said an about page is a trust builder. It's where people go to find out information about the person behind the website or about the website itself. So they're basically landing to try and figure out who this person is and whether or not they're trustworthy. The use of language is actually, I think, can be a good thing, because it sort of shows who this is for. It shows that, okay, so these guys aren't going to be giving just super straight-laced, very standard advice. It's obviously very unique. He's let the personality come through a bit. And obviously, if you're talking about younger guys and younger generation, using the right language is going to help make that connection. And again, these logos up here, a bit of social proof, very smart move. So people straight away go, oh, this person's actually been featured a fair bit in these big publications, and then they can go in and read with a little bit more confidence in what they're saying. So here's what to expect. Cool. And they're saying how to get started. So even though you don't go back to the home page and get that main call to action option, you get it here through the blog posts. So he's basically funneling you into one section or the other again, only this time he's still improving the trust between you and himself in order to get you to take action. So I think that's really, really smart, very, very good move. And then of course some more proof, which is about David himself, talking about his story, which is always good because people feel like they get to know the person a bit more. Once again, bring that connection a little bit closer and build a little more trust, which I think is good. Now, I do have a few thoughts, but I'm going to come back to those at the end and touch on that there. So let's actually go to one of these blog posts. Okay, so he's got obviously a standard blog post layout. This looks like it's built on the Divi theme. As someone who uses the Divi theme for well over 100 websites, everything here really looks like it's a Divi theme. Take the quiz. So straight away he's got up here, yep, you can take the quiz. Same quiz we were looking at before. Popular article. So whenever you're landing, you're getting the blog post on the left with the ability to share it quite easily. And also the quiz he's trying to get to you to take in order to sign up to his email list, which if you're not running an email list on your website, it's a huge mistake straight away. Getting people on your email list is a very powerful way to turn them into customers. Popular articles and about David. So these are all very important elements on the sidebar. And of course on mobile these would switch underneath the post. So if you don't see them here, when you finish reading the post, it would be down the bottom, which is very handy as well. And that means he's got a ton of comments here, so he's got plenty of people coming in and reading and commenting, which is good. Yeah, so he's got his call to action on the page. He's got more related posts here to keep you reading, keep you funneling through. So I think it's pretty good. It's you're getting what you want. You're getting the content here on the left. He's pushing his call to action, and then he's giving you more content. And then if you haven't actually read his about page yet, basically you've got the start here page. So when you're actually reading this content, you're like, who's this guy? What's his website about? If you've never met him before, you get the option to go back and read this sort of spiel here about him. So it's really good because once again, it takes you back to that trust building page. I'm sure the Confidence will have a similar thing, free physique quiz. So obviously that's he hasn't been able to differentiate between the two. If this is the Divi theme, which I think it is, I think it'd be one of those things where you could actually, these days with the theme builder, actually set it up so depending on the category, you could have the physique quiz on one, the confidence builder on the other. So that's something he could probably use, but I'll come back to that. Otherwise, I really like the standard layout, getting content exactly what you want, call to action on the right, social media. Go to blog, I don't think we'll be here for long. Same thing again, sidebar, access. Once again, there's nothing between the nav and the blog, which a little bit is good, but not necessarily better. So being able to just get straight into the content really satisfies a user's need to get what they want. They get what they came for pretty quickly. YouTube tab. So this is pretty cool. The fact that the YouTube channel is simply embedded onto his site is very, very cool. Obviously, you can go through and view more as you go. Because he's known for his YouTube channel, this is actually a really good feature and something that I think a lot of people could use if they are YouTubers looking to build a presence on their website. So very handy, and of course, one of the most important things, being able to subscribe right here. So that is pretty handy, pretty useful page to have, because once again, people get more content for free and he gets to build his YouTube channel at the same time. So books. I mentioned this in a couple of videos recently about people trying to sell books or list items on their site. This is the way to do it. A visual of the book cover, a bit of information, and where to get it, which I'm pretty sure this is an Amazon link. So obviously the book is written by him. Once again, written by him. So he's written a few books. It's just really straightforward, basic. I really like it, the way it's sort of, you're getting exactly what you need. There's no distraction. And this also links off to Amazon as well by the looks of it. So once again, just that clean look. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be clean and easy to follow. Recommended. Same again. I'm guessing this would be a similar sort of scenario. Show me the supplements. Same layout again. Image on the left, content on the right. There's not much to say here because it's the same across the board pretty much, but that's a good thing because people know exactly what to expect. They know how the site operates, and now they can really digest what he's saying without having to figure out how the page works every time. It's the same across the board. And that's the thing about good designs. It's not necessarily exciting and changing and everything's unique. It's consistency that really makes it usable. Contact. There you go. How to be. So this looks a little funny to me, but at the same time, I can sort of appreciate that. It's just like, hey, send me an email. That's it. It's a good way because there's no confusion about how he wants you to contact him. So sending an email is the best way. Obviously, he could put a form here to do the same thing, but then of course you've got the idea of spam that could come through. So actually, I don't mind this for what it is. But it would be nice to see a little bit more information in there, or even pop in a few of the social media emblems if they're not ready to send an email yet. Get them down to go to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Funnel them down to the least, to the lesser things. But maybe he really wants to just get them on an email. So that's just a thought there. But overall, it's a very simple design, done very well. There's a few very good elements that just simply bring it to life. There's not a lot of really fancy bits and pieces. It's just very straightforward, but it just gives off a really good appearance. Now, what I want to do is get back to the home page because I want to focus on this here for a second. This is really good. I would actually like to even just change this into an image so it stands out and fits nicely, something more that looks a bit more like this. That's a very minor thing. But I think what would work really well on this website is taking this and creating a condensed version of it, something that's a bit shorter, even if you had this on the left and the two circles on the right or something. Not for this area. I would keep this as it is. And then that way, if you go to a blog post or something like that, when you hit the bottom of that blog post, maybe just above or just below related posts, you have that little section in here, or even across the whole page. So when there you go, pop-up. Pop-up's a good thing. So that way, when they reach the end of something, they're not sure where to go next. Obviously, he's sending them to other posts, but maybe they're ready to take action at this stage. It's just like, I want to take action, but there's nothing super conveniently there. But it's all here anyway. But you sort of have to dig a little bit if you don't have the pop-up or you can't see the sidebar. If you're someone who's completely absent-minded about it, you're not really sure where to go. So I would consider doing that, which is further highlighted, say on the Start Here page. I would even pop a row at the bottom of that condensed version of the homepage, just across the bottom. So when you get to the bottom, you go, oh, this guy, his story I think is really good, and it makes me really want to do this. There's nowhere to go from here. You have to scroll back up or go through the navigation. I would just pop that down the bottom of the page. So that way you kind of got like it's like a pipe. You're coming in through the top and out through the bottom, but if there's nothing at the bottom, then they're sort of going nowhere. Now the YouTube channel obviously is getting people to subscribe to YouTube, but you could pop that on the bottom of just about every page realistically. The books, especially with the books, because maybe they're not ready to buy. Maybe they think, oh yeah, cool, and they think, oh, actually not really ready to buy a book. And then you have your call to action. However, one thing is the call to action on a money-making page like this might actually decrease the earnings. So I would consider putting it there, seeing how much referral you get based on the traffic you're getting, see if it decreases, and then choose whether or not to keep it there or not. The main thing is that if you get more email signups, you have more of an opportunity to push these books to them via email, and you're more likely to sell that way. So that's another way of looking at that. And yeah, same across the board. Add that call to action down the bottom, especially with the black background. It doesn't look like it's part of the content, so it gives them something else to eventually go, because it may blend in visually the first one or two times they see it while they're exploring, but when they start running out of rope, they're going to be like, what is this anyway? And they're going to see that and contact from there. Look, overall, I like the way it works. If it's something you want to learn from, having a call to action, cutting straight to your content, it's powerful. The About page, as you can see, if we go to Start Here, obviously we meet him here visually, but it's all about what the reader is after. You show the reader what they can take away from your site. So it's not about like, here's what I can offer you, and I can do this and I can do that. It is literally like, what do you want? Even though this is actually framed from an internal. So how can I gain muscle? How can I build? It's all about hopping into the mind of the reader and not him talking about himself. That comes second, or third, I should say, down here. So yeah, you basically, what the website offers you, what you can take away from it, some free information, and then if you're interested, a bit of info about him. But at this stage, you're sick of reading blog posts, adding that call to action would be a really powerful tip. And that would be another thing too in the blog, is finding a way to, maybe on the blog page, having a separate sidebar, or having both call to actions on the sidebar, whichever one you think is going to convert the best, and then setting up in the theme builder a blog post template just for your blog posts for one category, which is obviously fitness, and you pop the physique quiz on the sidebar for that, and then on the confidence side of things, having a different sidebar for that. So that'd be the two things to push those call to actions more effectively and more frequently. So just down the bottom with the call to actions, and then tailoring those call to actions in the sidebar to the blog post. So yeah, just my thoughts. Otherwise, I think this website's done exceptionally. As a fitness site, seeing the fact that he's in shape obviously makes a big difference as well. So he's pushed that. So I think overall pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want more website reviews like this, please like the video, consider subscribing for more future videos. And if there's a website you would like me to review, please leave a comment below, and I'll be happy to check that out and maybe do a video on it and go from there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.